So the water has officially dipped into the low 50s, and suddenly the bass that were crushing jerkbaits last week are now acting like they've entered witness protection. This is that awkward in-between stage, right? So their metabolism is slowing down, their strike zones are getting smaller, and your window to catch them is about as short as that last warm afternoon we're going to see this year. But here's the good news. The bite is still there. You just need to play it smart. This is the precision and patience zone. And today I'm breaking down exactly how you're going to continue to catch bass when everyone else is packing it up for the year. So throw on a hoodie, pour another cup of coffee, and let's see who's still out there willing to bite. Now, when the water temps drop into the low 50s, threadfin shad start dying off. They're warm weather bait fish, and you really can't handle those cold snaps. And once it hits the mid 40s, you'll start to see them fluttering and floating near the surface. That's the classic shad kill. Now, bass love it because it's basically an all-you-can-eat buffet. And these are the lures that are going to get bit for you. This is officially blade bait season. Now, when the water cools down and shad start dying off, that's when a shiny piece of vibrating metal suddenly becomes irresistible. And why? It's because to a bass, this looks like a cold, weak, half-frozen shad just trying to survive Monday morning. And bass love easy meals. All right, there are two retrieves that will absolutely nail them. You got the yo-yo, cast this out, let it fall, let it fall. That's that wounded bait fish move. Or you can go vertical jigging, right? You got those short, crisp jerks to make it flutter like a dying shad on its last breath. Now, on blade baits, you usually have 3 holes right there. This one only has 2. But the front one, if you tie your line to it, it's going to give you that tight vibration. If you tie it to the back, it's going to give you that wider wobble. In the middle hole, well, that's the money. It's usually where I run it 90% of the time. And so that's what I would use. Now, these guys, they shine in deeper water, those steep drops, those vertical structure, especially when those bass are glued to the bottom like they're on strike. Next lure that can be highly effective for you is going to be this guy right here. If you're a moving bait junkie, right, the lipless crank is still in play. Just fish it like you would a blade bait. Essentially, you throw it out, drop it, flutter it. Basically, you're impersonating a dying shad that just realized winter is real. Now, I once snagged a Berkeley war pig out of a brush pile, tied it on, 3 casts later, boom. So even your trash finds can turn into trophies. Now, if you got a heavy one like the war pig, you want to throw that on heavier line, maybe 20-pound fluorocarbon. I like 3 types of lipless cranks. I like the Berkeley war pig. I like the Spro Aruca shad. However, for this time of the year, my go-to is the Bill Lewis rattle trap because it's a bit lighter than the war pig and the Spro Aruca shad, and that will play to your advantage because as you yo-yo it and you vertical jig it, it'll have more of that erratic flutter on the fall. Now, keep in mind, the spinnerbait still deserves some deck space here. Just slow it down. I mean, really slow it down. Use double Colorado blades for that extra thump because in cold stained water, vibration is king. The flash is going to help, but that rhythmic pulse, that's the heartbeat bass will hone in on. So yeah, you're basically out there slow dancing with a spinnerbait, and if you're doing it right, the bass will cut in. All right, next up, I like throwing the square bill. Square bills are your go-to search bait when bass push shallow in the afternoons. Now, you want this bait hitting stuff, rock stumps, laydowns. Every deflection is a trigger. If you're not getting this thing caught up from time to time, you're simply not fishing it right. And as the temps slide toward the low 50s, slow it way down. You really got to have the patience of a saint, right? Make every bump, pause, and wobble look like a dying bait fish that is running out of gas. And that is the story bass want to finish. Now, if your water is still hanging in that 55 to 65 degree range, no worries, I got a video for that as well. And that's the sweet spot where bass are moody, but still willing to play. And hey, if you are super hardcore and still out there when it's below 50 degrees, first off, I salute you. You and I are the same type of crazy. So yeah, if you're still chasing bass in that frozen finger zone, I will see you out there. You'll know it's me because we'll be the only 2 idiots on the lake. So if you want the sub 50 degree lures to throw, right there. If you want to catch them in that 55 to 65 degree zone, that video is right there. Thanks for watching, guys. Appreciate you.